AI, correct? But actually, there are two types of AI speakers as well. We call it AI leaders, right? So we talk about inclusive leaders, which is the first line. Now we're going to talk about the A aspect of a leader, which is authenticity. It's another one of the buzzwords today in all the leadership literature. So our next speaker is going to take us on an inward journey using a tool called human design. Have you heard of human design? Super cool tool. And she's going to share with you how you can use this tool to help you find your superpower. Our next speaker is a certified human design specialist. She has worked with over 300 professionals, helping leaders to lead from alignment or exhaustion. And in her 15-minute sharing, she's going to show you how to honor your energy, patterns, set better boundaries, and lead with authenticity. So that you don't just survive through work, but you also thrive through work. So with that, can we please give a big round of applause for Cynthia?
Hello. So I want to begin when I was 4 years old. My parents were already separated. I was living with my mom and my siblings. Fast forward to one evening when I was 8. My dad came home and took me and my brother out for ice cream. Heather, do you want to come live with me or stay with your mom? I don't know. The truth was, I didn't want to tell him. I was afraid because he was very strict. I didn't want to stay with him. I was staying with my mom. He took us home and he left for that evening. As soon as that door closed, I had to report to my mom. Mommy, Daddy asked me if I want to go live with him or stay with you. So what did you say? I said, I didn't know. What? You don't know? You don't want to live with me? You want to go with him after what he had done to me? You go then, go to him. I can't believe you. I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. I went quiet because all I really wanted her to know was I was loyal to her. I didn't want her to feel disappointed. But from that day on, I was so afraid. I didn't want to share anything about myself anymore. All I wanted to do was to make her happy. So I made sure I was a good girl. But I was wrong. From that day on, nothing was right. She was never happy with me. Eventually, I became this emotional, really sensitive, easily triggered teenager. As you can imagine, we never had a good relationship. And as time goes, as I grew up, when I had enough of my strength, I left. I moved out. I went to find my own peace. But I made sure I was successful. I studied hard in school. I got my master's degree. I was successful in my career. I made sure she had nothing she can say about me. But of course, she was never happy. The more she didn't recognize me, the more she didn't appreciate me, the more I did. I made sure I was doing the right thing, saying the right thing. When she didn't give me the recognition, I did more. I blamed myself. Then I developed this very unhealthy pattern with her. I was starting to burn out. And this pattern started to show up in my relationships, in my marriage. Worst of all, 7 years ago, it was my most regrettable moment in my career life. At that time, it was the peak of my career. I had a team of 12 people. One day, I was so burnt out because I didn't feel like they appreciate me for my effort, of my support. I cursed them out. Slowly, one by one, half of my team left. I was so lost. I was so questioning my life. On the surface, in front of clients, you see this successful, professional woman, good rapport with customers, but deep inside, I know there was something wrong, and I knew I need to fix it, but I didn't know how. I was so lost. One day, my colleague named Jenny, she was my hero. She introduced me to a leadership course that changed my life. This is also where I learned about human design. So human design is a tool that was developed in 1987. This is something I consider it as a user manual for our own self. It tells you very specific information. So all you need to do is plug in your birth date, your birth time, your birth location. It gives you information like your life path, your working style, your relationship blueprint, a lot of other information. But most of all, how to truly live a meaningful life, the authentic self. I was intrigued. When I learned about myself, I understood how misaligned I was away from my authentic self. And I loved it so much, it became my new passion. Besides my professional life, I had went in deep dive in it and had gotten my certification as a specialist. Since then, in the last 5 years, I have done a lot of trainings, talks with parents, with leaders, with individuals to lead them to finding who they really are and stop wasting time having internal struggles with yourself. So what does that really mean? Let's take an eagle and a chicken as an example. So eagles, what do? They fly high, they have great strength, right? They're even the symbol of the USA. They are great hunters. But they don't really live in groups, right? They're more like a loner. Where chickens, not just on our lunch place, not 海南雞飯, right? Chickens, they tend to stay low in ground. They don't fly high, and they live in groups. So here's the question. What if the chicken is the manager of the eagle? There are actually books written about it. So there's a book called The Eagle Who Lived Like a Chicken. But really, think about it. If this is a pair who is in partnership or a team, who will quit first? Or the question is, how can they live truly to themselves, yet make the most out of themselves to achieve success? Same with us humans. How do we become successful? And how often can we really live truly to ourselves, especially in the workplace? We ask ourselves this question. Let's bring some numbers. Research says in Hong Kong, Hong Stress Kong, 60% of Hong Kong professionals reported feeling stressed at work. And 77% experienced at least one mental health issue related to their jobs. Let's take it globally. Global, the cost of mental illness to organizations is estimated to be US $1 trillion per year. Wow, those great numbers, right? How can we save money and make money at the same time? So what if organizations have leaders who would breed authenticity? I'm on a mission to encourage authenticity in workplace because it takes leaders to help lower chronic stress and bring authentic leadership to make us feel safe to become ourselves. So here are some other numbers. Research also says when an organization brings authenticity and mental health as their priority, 90 to 200% of savings just from retention on employees' annual salary per head. 90 to 200%. Next, we have when an organization really put authenticity into leadership, in 2 years, they experience 5 times ROI growth. Wouldn't your team, your department be benefit to these numbers? Raise your hands if you think it will. Yes. So how do we go about that? Today, I'll share 3 cases due to time, right? I'll share 3 cases of people I have coached, how they have used human design to unlock authentic leadership and bring sustainable teamwork. Okay, so the first case we have is a pair, the manager May and her subordinate Chloe as a sales associate. So May came to me and she was saying, I don't know how to guide this person. She's a Gen Z, okay? She, in my view, she is just point blank lazy. She will have sales numbers here and there, but often just not really there. I don't think she's committed. So I had this one-on-one conversation with Chloe, but I can really feel she does love her job. She is committed. So where's the disconnection? So May being the generator. So if you have heard of human design, if you have your own chart, generators are people who are very committed. They are goal chasers. They know exactly what they want. They are very proactive. On the other hand, Chloe is a projector. Projectors, they are more of natural observers. So they tend to seem more passive, and a lot of people misunderstand them as lazy. Now, there's something about projectors. They want to be invited, to be part of something, to be participating. And also, deep inside, they really want to be recognized. But honestly, in the real world, right? In our workplace, if you don't produce, how am I going to recognize you? So this is where I help them to bridge the gap. May understood, okay, as a projector, they want to be invited. So she will find things she can recognize her. Actually, Chloe is particularly good at putting together training materials. So she began to give her more opportunity to do so rather than on the sales numbers. Chloe needs to learn that she just needs to do what she is good at. And she does like to put together presentations. I'm happy to say after that coaching, in the end of that year, Chloe hits all of her annual sales target. And she even became the training leader in the team. This is where when we recognize what's already there, things will turn around very quickly. Next story, we have Craig and Keith. They are from an IT firm in Sydney. So Craig came to me having Keith as his project engineer. He just got promoted to a project leader. So he wanted to focus on more in leadership. But Keith seems to be always doing things in the wrong direction. So Keith, he wasn't very sure. Keith is also much of an introvert, doesn't speak much. So Craig came to me asking for advice. After understanding their own human design, we can see in the chart, Craig is someone who loves to talk about methods. He's very logical, so he always talks about method A, method B, method C. But Keith is someone who needs to know why. Doesn't really matter what method. Once I understand the why, I will go. And he's naturally not someone who speaks, who knows how to use his voice. So this is something that needs to be developed. So understanding their charts, now they understand that Craig knows that he needs to explain a lot more about reasoning with his methods. And Keith's productivity went up very well. So this is where actually we know how to direct the right inspiration will boost productivity. The third case is a bit closer to home. It's about my own transformation. So as I mentioned earlier, I went through a childhood that led me to more with some anger patterns. Once I understood about my own chart, I realized that I am very good at conforming with other people. And I'm a natural carer. These are very great strengths in a team, right? But when I grew up with a mother who was going through her own trauma, it became toxic. So I didn't know how to appreciate myself. I didn't know these are strengths. So when I understood that, I finally understand a lot of the hiccups that I had. I knew, actually, I can be much better. So I had one step at a time and developed myself to improve and understand other people's personality as well. Now I understand that everyone is designed differently. And even though they can be different from me, I can still be myself. And I'm happy to say I have reestablished all of my relationships in life. Upper right is my mother. She just visited me from the US with my two sons. On the bottom right, is my dad. And that's my stepmom and my stepbrother. Last year, I went and participated in joined his 70th birthday party for the first time ever in my life. My family, my brother who I didn't see for 10 years, I went to visit him last month. My team and my community. So human design is not just interesting, it changed my life. It was life-changing. And I have brought this, I've seen it again and again in parents working with children, with leaders working with their team. This is where things can change very quickly once we all understand about ourselves and understand about each other. Like one of my coaches said, we are all experiencing many negative emotions. It came from unmet needs. So I want to bring to you, you can all, as leaders, bring to your workplace authenticity leadership. That's what will unlock sustainable teamwork and energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Pepper, I have a question for you. I think what's in the leaders meet going on is what's the possibility that you can help them be a human design?
Yes, I'm happy to do.
You guys
Come
keep
share with
doing
me.
your own human design. Okay, later we set up a table, okay? And then we'll put a bowl over there and we'll get somebody and you do a human design. That's really, really cool, right? I had a chance to do mine. It helps so much in understanding why is it I have difficulty working with certain types of people. And it's a very good self-awareness too. So have fun with that. How many of you have done it actually, very human design? What's your profile? Are you a generator, projector, generator? Manifest, wow, that sounds very lovely. Manifesting generator. Okay.